Now I need you to picture this scene, okay? It's a humid Friday night in Magnolia Creek, a small town in rural Georgia. And the air is thick with the smell of stale beer and desperation, and maybe a little too much cologne. My twin sister, Simone. And my name is Kennedy Wee. We're just trying to grab a quiet drink at a place called the Rusty Mug. We were deep undercover, just easing into our assignment, pretending to be two city girls visiting family, wearing simple denim shorts and tank tops. We felt safe, because no one, and I mean no one, in that whole county knew that the two black women sipping iced tea at the corner table were actually seasoned FBI special agents. That was our first mistake, thinking we were safe. Because within 10 minutes, 3 local cops, drunk off their asses and spoiling for a fight, decided we were going to be their entertainment for the night. And they had absolutely no idea they were about to kick a hornet's nest. Simone and I, we've got this silent language we always have. And the minute the biggest one, a sergeant named Buck Taylor, started swaggering over, eyes bloodshot and smelling like a brewery. Simone gave me the look, the stay cool, sister look. Buck slammed an empty chair down near our table, the screech of metal on concrete making everyone jump, and he just leaned in. Close enough that his cheap whiskey breath washed over me. I said, "You girls mind telling me where y'all are from?" He drawled, that thick southern accent dripping with aggression. I kept my voice flat, professional, refusing to be rattled. "We're just passing through, Sergeant." Having a quiet drink, his smirk widened, and his 2 buddies, Dusty and Ray, laughed like I'd told the best joke of the century. Ray, who was already hovering too close to Simone's chair, had the audacity to ask, "Don't they teach manners where you chocolate drops come from?" I swear, my blood went cold. See, the thing about growing up black and female is you learn exactly what kind of situation you're in instantly. And this wasn't just flirting, this was a show of force. This was about power, pure and simple. Simone, she tightened her grip on her glass, her jaw set, but she kept her expression neutral, remembering our training: de-escalate, observe, survive. The bartender, a quiet, hard-working man named Javier. He was wiping the same spot on the counter, his eyes darting back and forth, silently pleading with the officers. We knew he couldn't help us. In this town, the police ruled everything. Buck, feeling untouchable, then took the escalation to the point of no return. He reached out with that big, clammy hand and actually slapped Simone on the rear, a loud, humiliating sound that echoed in the sudden silence of the bar. "You're asking for attention dressed like that, sugar?" he chuckled, a sound that was pure malice. That was it. That was the line. I saw the fire in Simone's eye as she was up out of her seat in a flash. But before I could react, Mark grabbed me from behind, slamming me against the wall, my air rushing out in a painful whoosh. "Don't touch my sister," Simone roared. Buck just laughed. "Oh, you gonna call the police?" The irony was nauseating. They cuffed us hard, twisting our arms behind our backs, making sure the metal bit deep into our skin. The charges: disorderly conduct, public intoxication, and threatening an officer, of course. As they dragged us out, I felt something shift in Simone. She didn't fight the cuffs. She didn't struggle, but just as she was being shoved toward the patrol car, she performed a small, practiced flick of her wrist. A small leather case, slick with sweat, dropped onto the grimy pavement with a soft thud. It landed face up, catching the weak moonlight, and the gold shield of the Federal Bureau of Investigation glinted unmistakably. I watched Buck's face fall. Just for a split second, that drunken, predatory grin dissolving into panic. Then he recovered, roaring with fake, manic laughter, kicking the badge case into the gutter. "You think that means something here, Princess? This is my town." And that was the core conflict, wasn't it? Not just about harassment, but about the deeply ingrained rot of local power challenging the highest form of law enforcement. At the tiny and full-smelling precinct, the real games began. Chief Silas Thorne, a silver-haired snake in a perfectly tailored uniform, came down to our cells, his presence chilling the air. "Agents Carter," he purred, using our real names, which told us everything we needed to know. "My men tell me you caused quite the scene. assaulting officers, resisting arrest. Bad things happen to outsiders who come digging in my town. Even fancy FBI badges get lost in the system here. He looked at me, a cold, empty stare. You have a choice. Take the plea, leave town quietly tomorrow, or disappear into my paperwork. That was a direct threat, a chilling promise of total systemic failure. But Thorne didn't know one crucial thing. Simone had a tiny and waterproof recording device, a gift from our tech specialist brother sewn into the lining of her sports bra, and it was rolling the whole time. The next few hours were spent recording the officers' drunken confessions. We heard everything, tales of planting drugs in the car of a single mother to get her deported, framing an aspiring black college student for assault to seize his grandmother's land, and how Buck's crew kept the local community in line. We were mapping out an entire criminal enterprise, not just a bar brawl. When the sympathetic Officer Lena Marquez, found a moment to slip me a burner phone. I didn't call the number Lena gave me. I called Deputy Director Vernon Wallace, our supervisor, the man who championed our careers. Sir, it's Kennedy. We've been falsely arrested. We have undeniable proof of massive civil rights violations and conspiracy here. There was a pause on the line, an uncomfortable silence that lasted just a little too long. Agent Carter? Wallace's voice was suddenly cold, devoid of warmth. I've already heard from Chief Thorne. He tells me you're being disruptive. I'm ordering you to comply with local law enforcement. Drop this now. The betrayal hit me like a physical blow. Simone saw my face, saw the color drain from it. The system we had sworn to protect, the man we trusted implicitly, had cut us loose. He was protecting himself, protecting established power structures that reached far beyond Magnolia Creek. We were truly alone. The game had changed from an investigation to a fight for our lives. The final act happened fast. Chief Thorne, emboldened by Wallace's cover, ordered us transferred, but instead of a prison, Rick and his buddies drove us out in a windowless van to a derelict warehouse near the swamp, reeking of brine and rust. No one knows you're here, Fed scum, Buck sneered, pulling out his service pistol, the moonlight catching the deadly steel. By morning, you'll be just another missing persons report. Maybe the Gators will find a piece or two. That was the last straw. The fear, the anger, the sense of abandonment, it all crystallized into pure, focused energy. We knew the moment was now or never. As Buck swaggered closer, savoring his final moment of power, I started taunting him, keeping him distracted, pushing every button I could find. Need a gun to feel like a man, Rick? You're nothing but a pathetic bully. You prey on people who can't fight back, and that proves how weak you really are. His rage blinded him. He roared and swung the gun like a club. I ducked, and in that same split second, Simone, who had silently slipped her cuffs using a hidden hair clip, a trick she learned from our Aunt May, ironically exploded off the floor. It was a blur of motion. Our joint FBI training, honed over years, took over. Simone's elbow drove into Dusty's stomach. My foot swept Ray's legs out. Buck was a big, sloppy drunk fighter, easily outmaneuvered. We moved like water, two halves of a whole, precise strikes to nerve clusters and joints. Within 90 seconds, the three mighty officers of the Magnolia Creek Police Department were crumpled on the filthy concrete floor, groaning in defeat. Stripped of their power and their pride, I retrieved the modified tactical body camera from the sole of my boot, activated the Wi-Fi uplink, and aimed it directly at a cuffed, defeated Buck. Welcome to your public confession. Sergeant, I said, my voice ice cold, devoid of emotion. Everything you say is streaming live to FBI headquarters and the internet. And then we let him talk. Drunk, beaten, and terrified of prison, Buck Taylor, the great white shark of Magnolia Creek, confessed to everything. The framing, the quotas, the collusion with Chief Thorne, and the ultimate gut-wrenching betrayal by our own Deputy Director Wallace. The warehouse doors burst open. Not with police, but with FBI internal affairs and state police tactical teams. Officer Lena Marquez, she had followed our location ping and sent the live stream to the right people. We watched them being hauled away, Buck, Ray, and Dusty. Then, over the next few days, we watched Chief Thorne's empire crumble, followed by the humiliating arrest of Deputy Director Wallace in front of the FBI field office. It was the deepest, most profound kind of satisfaction. We had lost everything: our faith in our supervisor, our sense of safety, but we gained something greater: the knowledge that we served true justice, not just the men who wear the badge. Now that whole situation, it was a wild ride. And the town of Magnolia Creek is still healing, still rebuilding its police force from the ground up. But it makes you think, doesn't it? About who holds the power and what happens when that power is abused. My sister and I, we were lucky. We had the training, the credentials, and the secret backup plan. But what about the countless others? The Javiers, the families of color, the people without a badge. Tell me, what do you think is the deeper problem here? Is it just a few bad apples like Buck? Or is the whole tree, the whole system, rotting from the roots up? And if you found yourself betrayed by the very people you trusted to deliver justice, what would your final, unyielding move be? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, because this conversation, it's far from over.